To the PHLY Phillies show. Renee Washington. I'm Anthony Gargano. Hi, Renee.
Hi. I love this because I'm always stuck with Jamie, and this is great to see. But I didn't think you were joining us yet, Anthony. I felt like
is it today Thursday?
Today's not. It's not Thursday yet.
No,
it's not. Cuz
hey, bro.
Welcome back, man. Get the hell out of my seat. You got your own show to do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is my show.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Yeah, you're out of here. Come on. Great to have you back,
Although I'd like you to stay too, but
good to see you, bro. Good to see you, Nene.
Good to see you guys.
Coming soon, fights. Yes.
Did I wake up on a mescaline trip or was that real? I don't know what just happened. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I had to kick the riffraff out of the studio here so we could get the show started. But let's just say Thursday, maybe around 9-ish, right here on the PHLY YouTube channel. Renee, I think a lot of people are going to see and hear from an old friend again, back in his happy place, talking about Philadelphia sports.
I know everybody in the chat got excited, and yes, Matt, I'm always stuck with you, Jamie. But
it was fun to kick him out of my chair.
It was great to have him there for a brief moment. I was like, oh, this is fun. You know, this is the legendary Cuz in the house. But yes, he will. We got you, surprise. He'll be joining us officially as the show launches on Thursday morning. I'm so excited for that. It'll be such a great day.
Opening day and Cuz is back.
Exactly. Opening day for Cuz, opening day for the Phillies. Doesn't get much better than that. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, welcome in. Let's get a thumbs up for the Cuz's return. We sat down yesterday and he was like, all right, fill me in on every single detail of the Phillies offseason. And I was like, how sick do you want to get? Do you want to talk Tyler Phillips and him coming off of Tommy John? Do you want to talk Michael Mercado trade? And he was like, just make sure I don't miss anything. He's like, I think I got everything, but I just want to make sure you and Renee have lived it every day for 4 or 5 months now. Renee, I can't believe the offseason is over. I can believe it, but I'm like, this is weird. I got so accustomed to offseason work and prep on Thursday. We have an actual baseball game to talk about.
And we've been, for all off season, creatively diving into prospects and possible off season moves and roster changes and so many things, and just following the hot stove. Like, that now feels like a distant memory. And I remember us talking through, like, wow, we've got a long off season.
Yeah, and Jordan Montgomery, it's still going for, and we'll get into him today. Like, we will. You're right. It's been so long, and Jordan Montgomery, one of the top, by most people's accounts, was a top 15 free agent on the market, top 10, even some would say second best pitcher, perhaps. And he's still unsigned out there.
He's waiting, but we're not waiting much longer because regardless, we've got opening day on Thursday.
Yes, and if you can, we'll get into the weather reports here by the hour for opening day. And, it's just a year ago that they did push back the opening day until that Friday. And if you're looking at the weather reports, which we'll get into, Friday looks clear, Thursday completely up in the air. So opening day, we will be down at the betPARX in South Philadelphia, right by the stadiums. If you're coming over from Jersey, it's a great place to get let out by your Ubers and Lyfts. Yes, very close. Don't fight the traffic. Stop in for a Miller Lite with us. Give us a Go Phils, a high five. And we'll be hanging out there all game long for the watch party, the post-game show. So whether it's Thursday or Friday, I would imagine they try to get it in Thursday. We'll be at the betPARX in South Philadelphia. So hopefully you can stop by, say hello, and, get a nice Miller Lite special for you. Yeah. Because opening day should be a damn holiday.
It should be. It should be. Because, first of all, I was saying yesterday, as I was telling people, like, oh, do you want to come hang and watch the Phillies play for opening day? They're like, I have work. I'm like, oh, that's right. It is. A lot of people are still dealing with work. If you're fortunate enough to make it a half day, come hang out with us because it should absolutely be a holiday. And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat that's tuned in Chris Lemmer, of course, Jamie, #1 yet again.
He's good.
And Chris, you bring up a good point on a sad note and much more tragic note. Want to just make sure to send our thoughts, prayers to everybody that's been affected by the bridge that collapsed down in Baltimore. I know a friend of mine, his dad was nearby, and fortunately is okay. So, it's awful to see as we're talking sports and all the excitement. Every once in a while, these tragedies happen in real life that make us take a step back. So definitely anybody that's impacted or knows somebody impacted, or just for those that have been affected, sending thoughts and prayers to everybody down in Baltimore. But also on this Tuesday, good morning, Kim. Good morning, Seth. Nice to have you guys here. Dave P, Jay. We have Provolone John. Josh F is here. Dan, D1EHL. What's up? I don't know how I would say that as not an acronym. Lots of you guys here. Randy, Trevor. We're just a couple days away. We don't even have our count anymore. We're just 2 days away. We're locked
the
and loaded.
CYO basketball scoreboard is.
What's going to be your opening day outfit, Jamie?
I'll let you know Thursday morning when I go into my drawers and pull something out.
Do you have something planned already?
It's opening day.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah. I usually get myself a new Phillies cap for each season, and I kind of started that tradition with Skylar. She got one from spring training, so I am in the market for a new cap. Maybe that's something that'll pretty much be the extent of my outfit.
Okay, so last year I rocked the royal
payment
blue.
Plans.
Last year I rocked the royal blue blazer for opening day.
Wow.
I went royal blue. This year I think I'm gonna go red as my color. I'm not really positive yet. I thought we were coordinating outfits, guys. Also, if you're not thinking about coordinating outfits, I did get a shout out in the chat. You guys wanted me to sing some songs.
I don't think anybody's actually requesting that.
No, I saw a request. I saw people asking how many songs will Renee sing today. I also want to just take this time as we're talking about music, guys. Jamie and Tyler got to hear me sing for karaoke night down in Clearwater. Guys, how'd I do?
You did well.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay.
I mean,
better than
everybody else that sang.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you were the best of everybody that sang, no doubt.
I'll say that.
Wow.
No, listen. You always say like, oh, I can really sing, and I'm just messing around. And we're like, yeah, sure. The more you play this up, the more you actually can't sing. And you went up there and you sang a really difficult song to sing.
You took on Whitney.
Did a really nice job at it. I mean, I don't know how much you want us to toot your horn and like praise you, but like. I
can't praise myself.
It was very good.
Okay, thanks, guys. So I can sing. We don't have video because nobody took a video. It was karaoke night. We're at the bar, and we don't do that. We are not like those kids these days where we take videos of everything we do. But yeah, happy to have all of you here. And I don't know how many songs I'll sing today. I'll see what I'm feeling. But Jamie, I'm excited for your game day outfit, opening day. Tyler, you too, and we'll see if you can coordinate.
Yeah,
I might wear the same thing I'm wearing today just to spite you.
My only goal is to have on Phillies gear. And speaking of Phillies gear, there's some new T-shirts in our shop on PHLY's locker room. You can head to allphly.com and check that out. Couple new drops for the season, and hopefully more to come as the Phillies have an exciting year ahead of them. All right, let's get to today's Factor Meal Kits spring training takeaways, which is actually like an end of the season, end of spring training, beginning of the season takeaway.
Okay.
So today is presented by Factor. Use code Phillies50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and free wellness shots for life with any active subscription. Go to factormeals.com/Phillies50. The takeaway here is Dave Dombrowski spoke, I guess, last night after the game to the remaining media as everybody's heading north. And of course, the only really subject that has kind of been up for, I guess, debate / it wasn't really open. I mean, let's call it what it is. I think Johan Rojas, they have firm belief in. They always wanted him to be the center fielder. And no amount of spring training struggles was really going to keep him from that job. So let's just call it what it is. It wasn't even that much of a debate. But, with Jake Cave here and Christian Pache here and some other guys, it was the only one that was kind of debatable. Everybody else is pretty locked in cement where they are. So Dave Dombrowski had this to say about Johan Rojas, and he's right. He basically said we can talk about Rojas as much as we want to, but the story here is if the first 7 guys in the order don't produce, it's kind of irrelevant what the 9 hole does.
Bingo.
And he's right. And, those guys are high paid. Some are superstars of the game. And let's not forget, National League Baseball, we're now like, it's funny, and I find myself guilty of this too. Talk about the 9-hole like it's imperative to the lineup.
Yeah.
For the majority of my life, I had to watch pitchers go up there and throw a bat at a ball, and it was a waste of time, and it was unproductive. Nobody enjoyed it, right? Nobody enjoyed pitchers hitting, right?
I mean, enjoyment? No, but
I never know with you.
Strategically speaking, it was a different aspect.
It was a different game.
Yeah, but did I enjoy watching Jamie Moyer go hit? No.
Okay, that's all I'm getting at. Nobody really enjoyed it. So granted, he's got to have a greater than 500 OPS, and he can't hit 165 because there is a breaking point.
There is.
But we're talking about the 9-hole hitter. So, I get what Dombrowski is saying here. This is a position that's new to us.
Yeah, it's like we're complaining about practice. We're talking about practice. We're talking about
the 9-hole hitter.
Come on now. That's what I try to preface every time we talk about Yoro here on the show row that no.
Oh God, maybe it was a mescaline trip I woke up in this morning with Anthony here. Was that just off the hip there?
It was just straight off the hip, just 5 days ago. That at the end of the day, we're talking about the bottom of the batting order. If you go out there game by game, I know we're talking a lot about wanting to start strong. Everybody, as we know, the last couple of years, the Phillies have dug themselves in the hole to kick off the season. This year, we want them to start off strong. Johan is not going to make or break that if the guys before him are not ready to go. Yeah. If Kyle Schwarber, if Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott, Trey Turner, those, the top of the team is where you focus. This is we're talking about 6-man, or we're talking about, depth pieces and role guys. Johan Rojas' role is as a center fielder. It's not even to go out there and get over 20 home runs or anything. Do we want him to have better at bats?
If he has over 20 home runs for his career, I'll be impressed.
We want better at bats, but we are fighting over crumbs here as to who's going to be the bottom of the lineup. So I enjoyed Dave's comments because as he was saying, I was like, period, preach, agreed. Because this is such a minor thing. And at the end of the day, as he was talking about, not only are you, you want Johan to continue to work, want him to stay positive, as he was mentioning, wanting to make good contact. And he was like, it may not always look pretty, may not always be the line drive, but he still adds to the club. And the club is better with Johan Rojas. But on the other side of it, he's like, I tip my cap to our, bless you, Tyler. I tip my cap to our coaches because they've done a good job. Other guys, like an Alec Boehm, who's been much better at third base.
How about that play at third by him the other day?
He's like, Alec Boehm's been much better at third base. Bryce Harper going to first base. These are the types of moves. Bryson Stott, really good at second base. And hopefully this year can be a year where he becomes more of a household name around the league. We know him in Philly from seeing him every day, but others do not understand the greatness of Bryson Stott as well and appreciate it. So when you look at what Dave Dombrowski's comments were, it was like that reminder of simmer down, guys. This team has so much talent with or without Johan Rojas giving good at bats that's just a minor addition, not something that's going to be a make or break thing. Kind of like
and
what's
Larry
happening
Boa said the same things when we were talking
with
about
your shoe over here. Are you still itching your foot?
I had a little heel itch. I was itching on the. I wore
Super
shoes
distracting.
today, and I feel like a coward. Darth Pooh, he has a comment in the chat that says, Jamie, terrible argument for pitchers being in the 9-hole. They aren't here anymore. Expect better. Yeah, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Baseball survived and was great for decades upon decades upon decades with shit-ass pitchers playing in the 9-hole. Of course the game's better. I expect better from Johan Rojas than a pitcher's production. But the point is, baseball's fine if your 9-hole doesn't really contribute much. And now I'm going to shock you guys.
Oh?
Are you ready?
Are
you sitting down? Oh, you are.
Okay,
Tyler, you ready? I'm going to say something positive about Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me mark this down.
Yep.
On this date, 11/16, on March, what is today? 26th. Oh, no.
With Johan Rojas being in the 9-hole,
okay,
it's really nice to have Kyle Schwarber protecting him.
Okay.
I said something nice about Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Is your brain all right?
I'm a little interested.
I'm just very happy baseball's back.
Did you get a lot of sleep last night?
I know.
I did actually. I went to bed very early.
He made coffee. He's wearing sneakers. He's complimenting Kyle Schwarber at the leadoff.
Yeah, we went to bed at like 9:15 or 9:30.
What's happening? Wow.
Well, we had a Sunday fun day, and Mondays can be a little sluggish when you have the Sunday fun day.
So you're now on a Tuesday.
So me and her looked at each other like,
feeling good day.
Not even starting a TV show tonight, huh? Let's just go right to bed. It was one of those. It was great.
I'm glad you got some sleep.
Now I'm
refreshed. This is how you are when you're rested. This is why I always tell people I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. This is why.
Yeah.
You guys wonder why people are saying I'm still tripping, I'm rhyming. Nope, I sleep. Yeah. That's it. Sleep does wonders for you. When you get some rest, you feel good. You are much better. You're more productive. Feel good, do good. And you know what else can make you feel good? That's eating well. And over at Factor Meals, they do provide you with just the best opportunity to be able to eat well and feel good. So over at Factor Meal Kits, they make sure that you don't have to worry about the stress of what's for lunch, what's for breakfast, what's for dinner, what do I taste for, what do I want to eat today. Factor Meal Kits provide you with food delivered right to your front door, fresh, never frozen. Takes just about 2 minutes to get that bad boy heated up, and you're ready to eat it up. Like that, JB?
Oh, my God.
So over at Factor Meal Kits, they've got a variety of different options, 35 different options to choose from every single week. Calorie Smart diets, protein plus meals, keto meal kits. They also have a bunch of add-ons to help you really get fueled and get ready to go, feeling good all day long. They also provide you with snacks, smoothies, just having you covered all day long with some great food. So you can get started today at Factor Meal Kits. Don't worry about the prep, the mess of making and cooking. I actually just was doing dishes last night from cooking dinner. It can be stressful when you have to worry about prepping, cleaning, cooking, plating, serving, all these different components. With Factor Meal Kits, they make it easy and they provide flexibility. You can pause, you can stop, you can redo and reschedule whenever needed, depending on what works best. Let's say you're going away for a week. Pause that meal plan and then start it back up again when you return from your vacation. So at Factor, they are the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, premium options, restaurant quality, chef quality meals, no cooking required. And you can head to factormeals.com/Phillies50 and use code Phillies50. That's Phillies50 to get 50% off at factormeals.com/Phillies50 to get 50% off of their dietitian approved, nutritious, delicious, great price where you can sign up and save. It's much cheaper than takeout and much easier than cooking over at Factor Meal Kits.
And last I checked, 50% off is #good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a very great deal.
And I told you about a little Sunday fun day. You know, I got home from a Easter egg hunt where I enjoyed a delicious cold Miller Lite. And we pulled in the driveway and it was a nice sunny day. And my wife said, should we invite our friends over with the kids? And I was like, sure, I'll throw out a last minute Hail Mary. And sure enough, every single one of my high school buddies took me up on it. And the kids all came over and we had family and friends all around us. My cousin's right up the street. And there's nothing better than a cold, delicious Miller Lite when family or friends are together and you're having good times, whether it be at the baseball stadium, on vacation, sometimes in the shower. They're delicious in the shower. I don't know what it is. The hot air and the cold beer, they just, I think, Tyler, they're scientifically proven to taste better.
A shower beer is like a top 5 beer.
Yeah, they just taste better in the shower. And the best part of Miller Lite, only 96 calories per 12 ounces. It's the original light beer since 1975, and to this day, it's still the best one. Miller Lite has more of the taste you want and less of the stuff you don't need. And look, beach season, pool season's coming up, and we all need to transition out of those heavy, high-caloric beers and just get a beer that tastes like a light beer should. 96 calories. Opening day, we're going to be down at the betPARX in South Philadelphia. Miller Lights will be flowing. We're actually going to have some specials happening as well. And Miller Lite just keeps it simple. Undebatable quality, great taste, and only 96 calories. It holds on to what matters most. A light beer that tastes like a beer. Less filling and only 96 calories. The original light beer since 1975. And times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered directly to your door, go to MillerLite.com/PHLY Phils. Or you can find it pretty much everywhere beer is sold. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. All right, have you guys recovered from my Schwarber take? I said something positive.
I know, and in the chat,
Laud
they're pretty
me,
surprised
please.
because you're usually very triggered discussing Kyle Schwarber and leadoff, and today you're,
Send
what?
all
It's
praise
because
my
Phillies
way.
baseball is back. This is why Thursday should be a holiday.
Yeah,
he's
gonna go 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts on opening day, and I'm gonna come in on Friday like, roar!
It's like the Christmas Eve. Like everybody's feeling good the week of Christmas. Everyone's feeling good the week of opening day because Phillies baseball is back and we're excited. And so you are feeling positive. I love this from you. Sleeping, happy,
Kyle
wearing
Schwarber,
sneakers
always
and
been
socks.
a leadoff guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it. That was our takeaway of the day. All right. So Thursday, obviously, the weather looks like dog bleep. I feel like this happens every year. March sucks. Comes in like a lion, out like a lamb. What's the saying? Out like a sheep. Something like that. Something delicious.
In like a lion.
Yeah,
in like a lion.
Like a lamb.
Out like a lamb. So I guess we're getting close to lamb lollipops.
Remember, you used to make that in school? You'd have like a whole project around it.
You ever do lamb lollipops? Do you eat lamb?
I have eaten lamb. So it's pretty good. Tastes like chicken.
Delicious.
Very good.
So the weather report for Thursday kind of sucks. I know some people out there are already saying, like, make a decision, you cowards, please. We have to shift. Some people are hoping for the Friday game. Last year they did this. They moved the opening day back to Friday. That's why Friday is scheduled as an off day. It's kind of a built-in movable day in case this does happen because March weather sucks. So pretty much the hourly forecast is like 60% chance of rain all morning long. And then it drops down a little bit into the 50% range around 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock at game time. There's still like a 50% chance of rain. And then it gets less and less and it dissipates over the course of the game and into the early evening. If you guys had to vote right now, would you let the weather forecast rule your day and move it, or roll the dice and try to get the game in?
Whatever we do, the opposite's going to happen because that's how the weather works. I mean, the Philadelphia Union just went through this in MLS play with like a monsoon a couple Saturdays ago, and people are like, "Why didn't you move the game? If you move the game, it's going to be like sunny and nice."
Yeah.
And I had to put my meteorologist hat on because I used to work as a meteorologist in news. Bet you didn't know that. I was always wrong.
What can you tell us about the alleged coastal front, and some think it's an inland front? Although there's two different models here. One is saying it's going to go up the coast and miss us, and we'll only get like the outskirts of the storm, and then the other one's saying it's going to basically come right for us. Well, which model are you believing, Renee?
The second one. Let's go with the second one.
Coming right for us.
Sure. Yes, that one. I didn't say I was a good meteorologist. That's why I got out of news. But listen, precipitation is expected to be, about 3/4 and 1 inch possible. That's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of rain.
And lately it's been monsooning when it rains.
Yeah.
You don't just get late. Like this past Saturday, it was awful. The Saturday before that, also awful.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday it's been bad.
Miserable.
So maybe because it's a Thursday, it should help because it only rains on the weekends apparently. Okay. But I do feel like go ahead and try to play Thursday. If it's really bad, you can still move it to Friday, but I wouldn't prematurely move it because it's right now only a current 60% chance for rain Thursday night, 80% chance for rain earlier Thursday. The problem is it's also supposed to rain Wednesday, and that accumulation can really build up. And if you look over here, Jamie, and at where the
right here on our green screen that we have in the studio, yes.
At where the rain's coming in, you're gonna get a chance of rain and patchy fog on Wednesday.
Fog
it's gonna drift over into Thursday. 80% chance of rain on Thursday. After that, 70% chance on Wednesday. So bring those umbrellas, guys. You're gonna need it. Bring the rain gear, and if you bring the rain gear, you won't need it. So let's all act like it's going to rain, and then it won't.
You know the word I like to say slacks for pants occasionally and get real old. The rain term I love. And bring your slicker. You ever call it a slicker?
No.
Nobody has ever called it a slicker?
What is this?
It's your raincoat. A slicker. No? Come on. Somebody in the chat knows about that slicker life. Slicker. Well, occasionally I'll say slacks for like any pair of pants that aren't jeans, and people are like, "What are you, 85?" Or trunks when you're going to the beach or the pool. Grab your trunks. These are like 1950s like terms I love. Slacks, trunks, and slickers, and I'm good to go. You guys are looking at me like I have 6 heads. It's not that foreign. Are you guys TikTok teens? What's going on here? Dan says a slicker.
TikTok teens.
Where are your rubbers? Well, Christy.
Wow, Christy! Oh no!
rubbers
That's not
and
what I
reindeer.
would
The
say.
boots. The boots.
No, I know, but I wouldn't go say, "Oh, wear your rubbers." It's gonna be a
These are.
I'm not gonna finish the sentence.
Yeah. No, I mean, back in the day, you would wear your rubbers and your slicker, and you'd
It's gonna
go
be a
out
wet one on Thursday. Come
Yeah.
prepared, guys. This is inappropriate.
Slicker is great. A couple people in there.
I don't like the word slicker.
Oh, prior military? Is that what that says?
Wait, oh my gosh, I can't see because my
We
eyes
called
are
them
watering
trousers.
from laughing.
Trousers and slacks, interchangeable to me.
Back when pants were trousers, women were not allowed to wear them.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, like women didn't wear back when trousers
Suit pants,
were.
big lady,
that was
big
like
lady
a
boss.
time
suit
when women
pants?
were only in like girdles and dresses.
I guess.
Like we didn't wear
In the
pants
slicker
then.
time?
Yeah, in the slicker time.
in the
Oh my
rubbers
Lord.
time.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody said
Point
I'm
it.
not crazy. You're just old. But I've said those since I was like in a teenager. I always.
But doesn't make you any less.
My dad would always
Old.
call them a slicker and slacks, and I just like kind of was deep seated in me, and I always it makes me think of my dad. I guess is what it does. So
you make
slicker,
us-
slacks, trunks.
Okay, now I
He
feel
was-
bad for laughing.
He was a big trunks guy, so I don't know. It's just like one of those old school
Chrissy
terms.
said her grandfather would say it
Yeah,
too.
I don't want to let it die.
guys,
I'm gonna call it that to my kids. Grab your slickers. We're going out in the rain.
Sounds
I'll
like
probably drop the
slickers.
rubbers one, Christy, but
Yeah, I
thank
don't
you for
think- I
contributing.
don't think we should go with rubbers. I don't think that's it. I don't
All
think
right.
that's what we. All I wanted to talk about was the opening day starting lineup.
And then I got all
and you
wound
went
up on
all weather
slickers.
on us, and things got heavy fast.
Jay said, "What is happening?"
I
All
don't
right,
know, Jay. Send help.
I guess we'll talk baseball. All right. Todd Zulli yesterday speculated on some prospects
Jeez
that could
Louise.
contribute to the Phillies this
Wait,
year.
you skipped the opening day lineup.
Did I?
Yeah.
Where?
That was like the top of our thing with
Is it?
Zulli's notes about Witt yesterday. and-
Oh, well, Rojas is starting center field,
Okay.
and Marsh is going to be left field.
Okay. There it is. I
And
mean, that's
Witt's
what
your
we
top
led
bench
with.
bat.
Our show's title
it?
was literally about.
I was kicking Anthony out of my chair. I didn't know what was going on.
That's the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Check back in tomorrow for the PHLY Phillies
So
podcast, where it'll be an entirely new crew because we've all been fired.
We've all been fired talking about the weather and other topics.
Yeah,
in my,
Rojas is center
in my
field.
best radio or daytime game show
The PHLY
voice.
Phillies crew has been let go.
Yeah.
They've mutually parted ways. All right, so there's the
there's
starting
no
lineup.
mutual
here.
There
We
it
just
is.
got fired.
We've known for weeks what the
No
starting
Witt
lineup
in the
was
starting
gonna be.
lineup. He's going to be a top bench bat, as we've talked about.
Yeah, so Zulli went on to speculate, and this is going to be interesting now with the Spencer Turnbull, Taijuan Walker, Orion. You kind of have a little bit more 26-man flexibility here. So Zulli, I guess, was pondering what prospects, and we talked a lot about these guys, which could actually contribute, which could be up, down. You know, that first month of the season, there's going to be some yo-yo roster moves that happen where guys are up and down, and they'll kind of supplement, and hopefully Spencer Turnbull steps right into the job and can carry us. But the first guy on Zulli's list was Mick Abel, and he's in a big spot this year because he can contribute to the big league club if he goes down to Lehigh and throws strikes and performs well. Mick Abel was the first name he brought up, and I have a feeling Mick Abel is why they're not in on Jordan Montgomery. I think they believe in this kid. They want him to win the job and go out there and take it. And there's a good chance we could see Mick Abel this year.
Yeah, Mick Abel's been impressive so far, you know, and how
great
he's
in
kicked
spring.
off 2024. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Everybody's talked so highly about Mick Abel's performances. And even as we mentioned before, you know, in 2 2/3 innings was perfect, striking out 4, and has been making that progress. They've made some minor tweaks. And he's saying, you know, the goal is still in sight. He's still getting closer. He's still making progress. And there's a clear understanding of what he needs to do. And now he's, you know, and also who he needs to be and what he needs to do to get to the next level. And now you can see where Mick Abel's locked in doing that. I think he's one of the most promising prospects you've seen from spring training that has continuously made those strides that you're like, okay, I think he's going to be ready, hopefully even this season, that you can see him this summer getting some opportunities with the team. So Mick Abel is definitely a promising prospect from spring training.
Yeah, Chris Miller says, bring Abel up. Let him sink or swim.
I'm all for it.
This is kind of his sink or swim year. I think they want to send him down to Lehigh, and I think if he's throwing enough strikes, and well, granted that Spencer Turnbull doesn't become like the find of the offseason and just dominate the position,
Right,
you know,
right.
which is possible. I'd put it at a low percentage chance.
I mean, Dave was talking a lot about
He's a former,
Spencer
very
Turnbull.
highly touted prospect. He's had some minor success.
And he was saying the biggest thing about Spencer Turnbull, much like even a Chris Sale with Atlanta, is that he's healthy. There are some guys out there that dealt with some major injuries.
Yeah, Tyler Phillips is another one that's finally healthy.
Now if you can maybe be in a situation where you're not needed as much, you don't have to play as many innings. You can manage it, and that's physically is going to help you to be able to be at a better point when you do take the mound. And if he's healthy, I know Dave was saying he's expecting he's going to throw the ball better than people can anticipate.
Good.
So they're expecting Spencer Turnbull to be someone that is going to surprise many. And
he looked good in his last outing
there. Yeah, that'd be great to see.
Some other names that Todd Zalecki mentioned, Matt Kroon, who your boy Preston Mattingly said is very similar type of player to Matt.
Keep manifesting Preston Mattingly.
I'm just going to speak it into existence.
He's going to join us on the show again.
He said he's very similar to Matt Vierling. He can play infield, he can play outfield, and he can hit. So we'll see if Matt Kroon contributes to the big league club this year. Now, the last two names on the list were Michael Mercado and Tyler Phillips. I think that was to be expected. We've talked about Mercado. Same thing. The most interesting name here is Griff McGarry. Now, Griff McGarry was sent down about halfway through spring training to the minor league camp. And Rob Thompson said he's going to start getting molded to be a bullpen piece, which is a big fall from grace as the team's number 3 prospect just, like a year ago. But they've reworked his mechanics twice now, and they think he's more suited for the bullpen role. And hopefully this is something Griff McGarry can find a groove with, because every good team can always go down to the minors and pull somebody up that can be serviceable. And hopefully Griff McGarry can be that for the Phillies.
Well, the thing about Griff McGarry compared to others is you look at someone like Matt Kroon, and the fact that Matt Kroon can play in 3 spots, can play third base, he's athletic, he can run. He does have that versatility alone is helpful. If Griff McGarry can add a little bit of extra versatility where maybe he can be a bullpen arm as well, it should only help. Plus, he has been someone that's fluctuated so much in the prospect pipeline. They really want to just simplify things, as they talked about. And I think sometimes with especially young developing players, and even Johan is a great example of that, you do need to just simplify things. You're making these, all these changes, trying to help them take that next step, plus the pressure of them wanting to take that next step. You want to just sometimes peel back some of that and make it as simple as possible. Get back to the core things. What do you do best? Let's just get you throwing strikes.
Stupid. Kiss
it. That's it.
Kiss. I mean, keep it simple, stupid.
Get back to the basics.
I'm not calling Griff
throw
stupid.
Strikes,
I'm just saying that's in his segment.
Simplify things. So yes, his pitching arsenal, his fastball, his cutter, his slider. Limiting him to 1 inning, that in itself will help him not be able to just focus on 1 inning at a time.
Tunnel focus.
Cliche as that
Don't worry about 5 or 6 innings. Just worry about 1.
Because then on the other side, you're bringing in obviously a Spencer Turnbull, but then also you brought in like a Michael Mercado, who you're hoping you can get something out of. So the Phillies have options, and they don't have to force him to be something he's not ready to be. So be a bullpen arm and see if that helps simplify things.
Yeah, I see some Jordan Montgomery chat going on, and I really do believe Mick Abel is probably the reason they're not going to get involved. I mean, Jim Salisbury went on WIP yesterday, and Jim's as good as there is in town, and he said there's serious hesitation about that third tax threshold. It's international pool money loss. It's moving back 10 spots in every round. There's financial implications. So there is substantial, that third threshold where those dumbass Mets are, is really, there's serious implications there. So I would not expect Jordan Montgomery or the Phillies to be involved with
Let's talk about it a little bit really quickly, because Dave did say we haven't quit working, so we could still make moves. Am I anticipating it? Not necessarily, but we're staying in touch, looking at things with our scouts, looking at every name that becomes available. The thing about Jordan Montgomery, in addition to the financial piece, is he is looking for a long-term deal.
Well, good luck.
The Phillies are not looking for a long-term deal with Jordan Montgomery. So for him, it's been reported that Jim Bowden was mentioning that there are 4 teams that are favorites because of that long-term contract he's seeking. And he's probably going to get signed this week, just not to the Phillies guys. The teams that he's connected to have been the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Orioles, and the Diamondbacks. The Orioles and D-backs are 2 teams that are to watch. There's some sleepers that could come in at the last minute, but the Red Sox and Yankees are heavily involved to some degree. So the Phillies, between what the Phillies need and what he's looking for, there's no way to marry the two. But we should get some Jordan Montgomery news this week before opening day. We've seen some big news.
Is he going to be
opening week in the
Dallas-Braden,
past.
where he signs in June at this point? That's what you start to wonder. Wasn't he the one that signed in June?
No, it was Dallas Keuchel.
Dallas Braden.
Dallas Braden threw a perfect game.
Yes. Pretty weird. There was 2 pitchers that were decent named Dallas.
Oh, no, that's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, good. You
Yeah,
know, like
I know.
JD Martinez is signed. Jordan Montgomery is now like the last big name free agent out there.
In the piece, I was reading a piece and it was talking about like some of the big moves that have happened opening week in the final week before opening day, and one of those names. Do you remember who was 2 years ago? One of the names that was traded in the final week before opening day.
No, I'm not. I'm brain farting.
Bullpen arm.
Jose Alvarado? What? Oh, Kimbrel.
Craig Kimbrel.
We don't talk about him.
I know. I was
anymore.
like, but Isaac Paredes was one. But yeah, Craig. So that, I mean, listen, things happen the week before opening day, and sometimes not all good things.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, coming up in a second, we're going to get to our 5 best bets, some futures bets that myself, Tyler, and Renee have cooked up, courtesy of our friends at betPARX. We have to get to our top 3 Phillies managers, so let's just close out with the Phillies news and notes today. This just in, the Phillies are popular again. This might surprise you guys, but they've actually sold more season tickets this year than last year. They are at 19,000 season tickets sold, and I believe that's not full packages. I believe there's 17 games and Sunday game plans. I think those all qualify. So they're at 19,000 season ticket packages sold. This time last year, coming off the World Series, they were at 15,000. So there's already been an uptick in 4,000 packages sold from this year to last, and they lost in the NLCS.
I know. That's
so
great.
Apparently, good baseball is good for business, Renee.
I know.
Breaking news.
It's exciting, and people are excited. I know. I had people texting me like, "What are the plans for opening weekend?" I'm like, I don't know yet. Listen, everyone's looking forward to the fact that Phillies baseball is back. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to be happy and excited and look forward to. It's happening. And yes, to your point in the chat, Dan, just to hit on that as we're moving forward, definitely, I think we're all at a point of just kind of we'd rather wait and see for the Phillies what's out there during maybe the deadline. Yeah. Instead of feeling, rushed into a decision and just jumping
they've spent the most money by leaps and bounds of my lifetime. I can't be a curmudgeon and yell at the clouds to go sign Jordan Montgomery when they've spent more money than they've ever spent. Yeah. John Middleton has been freaking awesome as an owner. And Dave Dombrowski has his full, confidence to go spend money. And it's pretty great. So I'm not going to bitch and moan because that would be silly and a waste of time.
And this is why more tickets are being sold, because there is definitely more excitement around the fact that that's back-to-back years of great postseason runs, even though last year was frustrating. And looking forward to see when this goes.
I don't want to talk about the end of last year at all.
I know.
Because
I don't know.
The Phillies were better than the Diamondbacks.
Nothing happened at the end of last year. It's all a blur. I'm putting that in the back there with Craig. It's all going back there.
All right. Final Phillies news and notes. Cody Clemens, Dave Dombrowski spoke about last night, had a phenomenal spring.
He did.
Left-handed bat, versatile defensively. Dave Dombrowski had this to say about Cody Clemens. He's deserving. He's a big league guy to me at this point. We just don't have the room for him the way our club fits. He can protect us at all infield spots. He could go out in left field, but he's not really a left fielder. Cody Clemens, I think, is going to be one of those guys you see contributing at different points in the year this year. I once thought, okay, this kid is a what's the word I'm looking for?
Nepotism?
Nepotism, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just like your natural inclination is, Rogers' kid got a job. And then he stepped in last year, and I was like, he actually looks competent.
Yeah.
And then he had this spring training where he was hitting the cover off the ball and showed you some more defensive versatility than I thought. And all of a sudden you're going like, oh, damn, does this kid have a shot? He could be a pretty nice bench piece for you.
And honestly, KC made a great run at...
Oh, our Lehigh Valley players are getting nicknames now?
Well, originally I was going to call him K-Men's, but I was like, that is...
K-Men's?
Clemens, Cody. Cody because there's a K.
No, I got it. Tyler, did you get it?
So I have a question. Renee, did every player on your teams growing up have a nickname? Like, is this a thing? Like, did you have to do
I did have
this?
a lot of nicknames that I was... Wow, now that I think about it, I started this when I was young. I feel like I'm on the couch right now.
Did you ever call people by their numbers? Right here, number 10.
No, I was usually...
No, that's absolutely a baseball thing, though.
Yeah,
and the numbers, like...
Soccer is big on the numbers,
lacrosse
too.
would do that, too,
But,
though.
I was definitely a big nickname person, actually. And now that I think about it, I gave out some great nicknames in my time.
Did you
I'm
have
still
a nickname back? Did people call you something like uniformly?
Yeah, I've got several nicknames.
Well, why don't you hit us?
Because I feel like it's not about me.
I was never a nickname person.
That means they're either really bad or embarrassing.
All right, here's the nicknames. They're not that bad. So my actual nickname is Nene.
Okay.
That's like what?
That's what Anthony calls you.
Yeah, Nene, Nay. Sometimes people shorten it. R-Dub.
R-Dub. Okay.
R-Wash.
R-Wash.
R-Weezy.
All right, now we're getting a little crazy.
Reenie.
Reenie.
Which is weird because that just takes my name and changes it.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
So I was never a nickname guy. I never, because my name is James. So
I can give you one.
No, it's all right.
Gel.
Those are my initials, yes. I'm okay not having a nickname. It's fine. I'm just bringing it up. Tyler.
Jay Lynch.
A lot of people call me Lynch.
Jay Lynch, though.
No, it was just Lynch. I was called last name guy a lot. Tyler, did you ever have any nicknames on the diamond?
Yeah, I mean, Teasel was the big one.
Teasel, yeah, that works.
You know, I was so like even to this day, I'm more of a last name guy than like most of my buddies don't call me Tyler.
Yeah, I'm like 50-50.
Like I think I was actually saying this to Renee not too long ago.
That's why.
I think that
you can't call me Washington.
It's like 3 syllables.
Yeah, it's too long. Like two
Lynch is pretty easy.
Probably the most you can do.
Easy, yeah.
But I think that if you polled like 20 of my friends, like 3 of them would be like, yeah, call him Tyler.
Oh, and Provolone John in the chat is right. I'm sorry, I did have the bro. Anthony called me the bro.
For sure.
And when the cuz gives you a nickname, as you know here,
Jim says Jim's nickname was Randall in high school. Jim Cunningham was called Randall. I like that. I like that. And thank you, Jay. You like R Weezy. Yeah, R Weezy was my rapper name, R Weezy, because I could.
All right.
I'm a good freestyler, too.
Yeah.
As you can clearly tell from my rhymes.
And, if Cody Clemens goes back and forth, maybe those clubhouses, he's going to notice some nice carpeting.
K-Men's.
K-Men's? Or just Cody Clemens?
I can't say C.
Maybe Lehigh Valley used Empire today. Maybe Citizens Bank Park did. I don't know. If they were smart, they would, because they're the best in the game. And right now, you can get $350 off at empiretoday.com/PHLY. You can get new floors, and Empire is the best. There's a lot of copycats these days, but you've known about Empire your entire life because you've probably heard the jingle on TV your entire life. That's because they're high quality and they've been around forever. You get the shop at home convenience. And in 2024, in this day and age, nobody likes actually going out to these big box stores. Everybody wants to see what the floors would look like in their home with their cabinets, with their wall colors painted. You just want to get an idea of how it looks. And Empire Today, what they do is simple. They find the best quality floors for you. Everything they bring to you is stuff they would put in their own home. They're not beating you down with thousands and thousands of different samples. They're bringing you the best quality to your house. And with their virtual design tools, they can show you what those are going to look like in your house. The virtual floor designer is awesome. Shopping in big box stores can be overwhelming, annoying, all of that. Just have them come right to your house. They pride themselves on convenient shop-at-home service. And they service their own warranties. If there's ever an issue, just call Empire, and they service all the warranties themselves. You're not going to have to track down some manufacturer's phone number and all that. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive $350 off when they use the promo code PHLY. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/PHLY for details.
Yes. And if you don't want to go to the stores and have to walk out the doors, you can shop for floors.
Oh, God. Do you think they're going to pick that up as their new jingle?
I have jingles for everybody. I also have a jingle for these people because don't be a sucker. Call Ben Stucker.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
Ben, I apologize in advance.
Over at
Alec and Ben, you guys are great at what you do.
Call Ben Stucker over at Mortgage CS, that is, which stands for I'm crying, which stands for Mortgage Concierge Service, a white glove service located right here in Philadelphia. They work with clients from coast to coast, whether you're out west in California, Colorado, down south, Florida, Virginia, South Carolina, maybe you're local, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Mortgage CS will work with you. They'll provide you with great customer service. They're available 24/7, and they also like to have the full control of the lenders they work with, as well as just educating, empowering, and really giving you the opportunity to find those ultra competitive rates. So over at Mortgage CS, not only do they help make sure you're prepared to stand out and make the best offers possible, they also want to make sure that you have as much information so you can figure out what works best for you and your family, not Mortgage CS and their bottom line. In addition to all the great work they're doing on the spring purchase market as everyone's shopping for that first house or looking to find that fixer-upper or that next home, they will also provide you with refinancing options, because if you're looking into any rate and term refinances for a rate payment reduction or cash out refinances, Mortgage CS will allow you to help get those opportunities to tap into home equity, tap into those projects, education, whatever it is you're looking to do through those refinancing options. So check out Mortgage CS today. Maybe you want to talk to them about nicknames. Maybe you want to talk to them about the weather or opening day. You can reach out any time of day. CEO Ben Stucker's phone number right there on your screen, 267-391-7425. You can reach out to Ben and Alec at Mortgage CS any time of day about anything. And they want to make sure you're able to reach out, phone, email. You can email Ben at mortgagecs.com. And you can make sure that when you think of the word mortgage, you think of Ben and Alec. You think of Mortgage CS. So head on over to mortgagecs.com/PHLY to get started, and know that this advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Mortgage CS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply, and the company NMLS ID number 1464766. You can visit mortgagecs.com for more information.
Yeah, I actually need to reach out to Ben to see if he can help me with my HELOC and maybe get that a little bit better. So refinancing is always great, even if you're involved with your mortgage. All right, let's get to our 5 futures bets that we like here. Yesterday, we doled out the assignment after the show. Everybody dive into the betPARX Sportsbook right now. 5 MLB futures that we all like, and they could be anything. All it was, as a gambler, I'm not Shohei Ohtani, but I do like futures bets where you can get a whole season of enjoyment out of one bet. Minimal money, higher payouts.
Wait, did you just make an Ohtani reference?
I did.
Wow.
Yes, I said I'm not gambling $4.5 million. I'm gambling responsibly.
I see what you did there. Don't be a Shohei.
Yeah. Be
a Jamie.
Well, I mean, he's slightly more talented than me, I think. So I
but you're not up for a federal investigation, so it's fine.
Yeah. So we all dove in and found 5 futures bets that we like. Let's go around the horn and start from 1 through 5 here. No necessarily order of what's better or best. This isn't like the best bet. It's just 5 that we like. Like, I don't know how we can clarify it more than that. It could be season win totals. It could be division winners. It could be MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, whatever the hell you wanted, whatever caught your eye. So that's what we want.
The way that I was looking at it, I don't know how you guys feel, is I am going to give you my least hot takey. I don't want to say hot take, but the one with the worst odds first, and work my way up to something with much higher odds. I don't know if you guys want to take it that way, but
I'm just going to read them.
All right, that works.
It's all bets. If you, I want to predict one of your bets. Okay. I wonder if you went down an avenue with an AL Cy Young winner, because I was thinking about this last night. Garrett Cole is out of the way.
I did
Stop
go with.
Okay, is this yours? Is this yours?
I didn't do an AL Cy Young winner.
5.
But the AL is now wide open because Garrett Cole was pretty much like a Cy Young lock.
Stick to your 5.
That's where I'm guessing you might have a certain guy from the Midwest. We'll see.
It's possible.
All right, I'll kick it off.
Yeah, don't spoil.
Logged into betPARX, and right there up at the top on the promo boost tab, something jumped out to me in neon. It was a Philadelphia Phillies promo boost, and I'm going to take it. The Phillies, they're given an alternate line of 90 wins on the season, boosted up to plus 150. I'm going to take the over Phillies wins of 90 on the alternate line for plus 150. I think that's a pretty good bet. I think they're going to be in that 92 to 95 range. So I think they can comfortably get there by a couple games.
Okay. I like it. I know in the chat you guys were saying I can start another career as a jingle writer. Thanks, Purple and John. R. Weezy is in the house. And I can say I'm not great at betting myself. Every time I put a bet down for myself, I lose. But when it comes to making a bet, I don't put money on. I
That
win.
was me during the Eagles
That's
season.
me
I was
all
on
the
a
time.
heater.
I'm so good at betting for other people and winning them money, apparently. But I
it's a real
don't.
thing.
Whatever I put anything down.
Because when it's your own money, you start to think too
and I'm
much.
like,
You
I'm getting
overcomplicate things.
and I always go for the biggest ones because I'm like, I want the big pay, the big payday. But I'm gonna start with one that's a locked for sure. NL division winner, including the playoffs. Who's coming out of the NL? Plus 600 Phillies. Done. Easy. No explanation needed.
Plus 600 is pretty good odds.
That's a great odd, and it should happen. So I'm
for
going
a team with possibly the best rotation, predicted to have the best F4 for a bullpen.
Exactly. And you have the Dodgers
Why
are
not?
plus 200, the Braves are plus 300, and then it jumps to plus 1300 for the Cardinals.
Those aren't that fun.
I'm not just doing that as a biased, person on a Philly show currently.
And they're not all going to be
But
Phillies
I do
bets.
feel like, they're not all Phillies bets, but this is my Phillies bet for
I
sure.
like it. This is plus 600. Tyler, what do you got?
Fuck it.
Yeah, so last year, there was a team in the National League Central that led all teams in games lost to injury.
Is this you and Anthony's bet that you guys both like?
And there is their line sits at 81.5 this season, and
do
that
they
basically
play in a
tells
certain
me
stadium we all know and love?
they do, in fact.
Okay.
And that their line is 81.5, which tells me that Vegas thinks they're about a 5. Like, can this team be above 500? And to me, the answer, despite the fact that TJ Friedel and Matt McClain and Nick Lodolo are all going to start this season on the injured list. Noelvi Marte is suspended for 80 games for PED. I still think, even with all of those, road bumps along the way, the Cincinnati Reds are better than an 81-win team. I think they are an above 500 team. In fact, I think that they're able to challenge for the division in a division that I don't think is particularly all that good. You can get the Reds at minus 114 to go over 81.5. I'm going to take them to go over 81.5 and win and be at least an above 500 team.
Yeah, they're a fun team to bet on. I like that one. All right, for number 2, I'm going to go with a team to win the American League.
Ooh.
A little plus 550 action. Not as nice as your 600.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles to win the AL. I think Corbin Burns is going to be enough to push them over the edge. I would imagine with new ownership in place at the trade deadline, with that farm system pretty loaded up, I would imagine they're going to be buyers. They're going to be doing everything they can to win. I'm going to take the Orioles to take the AL at plus 550.
Well, I'm going to, since I have this same one, I'm actually going to just piggyback off of you. I do.
So you have Phillies, Orioles,
and part
World
of my
Series.
reasoning is, like you just mentioned, I feel like the Orioles are a team right now. A lot of people, they're not sleeping on. You understand the talent that's there, but they're not as flashy when you look at, obviously the NL specifically, but for the AL, it's still the Yankees. It's still the Astros. A lot of people are talking about, and I feel like the Yankees, between Garrett Cole's injury,
I feel like Garrett Cole's not going to play
no,
this year.
and that is a big reason why I'm like, I'm not really on the Yankees bandwagon like others may be for the AL. I think the Baltimore Orioles take it, and then also there have been some trade rumors that have been circulating. None of this is something that's I've heard in deep context, but I did hear a possible trade that the Orioles would, in that deal, receive Shane Bieber and George Valera. And so the Orioles might not be done. I've heard them connected to some other moves.
Push in. They're gonna
the
push
Orioles
in.
are not done yet because they are actively pushing in. They understand the talents that is there. And so I think they're plus 550. I'm taking that AL winner for
All right,
Baltimore.
Tyler, what do you got? Number 2?
Let's jump from minus 114 to a even plus 100, even money on this one. I believe that this guy is going to win a batting title at some point. And no, it's not who you're thinking of. It's not Bryson Stott yet. Bo Bichette can flat out hit.
Yeah.
And the fact that his hit total is 179.5 this year. He had 191 3 years ago in 2021, 189 in 22. He missed 25 games last year. He only played 135, and he had 175 hits. If this guy plays 150 games, there's no doubt in my mind he'll add 5 hits in 20 games. Yeah. So 179.5 seems almost like a foregone conclusion. He could lead the league in hits for all we know. I'm going to take him to not only break 179.5, I think he gets much closer to 200 if he stays healthy.
Okay. I love the chatter going on in the chat. MBD says he's got Julio Rodriguez, AL MVP, plus 1,200.
Toyed with that one for a long time.
That's a good bet.
That's
and
a good
Julio's
one.
a fun-ass player. So that's a segue into my next bet. I'm going to go with the NL MVP. This one just jumped out to me. Sometimes when I'm looking at futures, you just kind of like one like stands out in bold amongst the others. And for me, it's Fernando Tatis Jr. at plus 1,100. He's about 5th on the list in terms of NL players. Obviously, you have Freeman, Betts, Ohtani, Bryce Harper's ahead of him. And then Tatis comes in right around like Trey Turner in terms of odds. He's a Gold Glove player. He's phenomenal at the plate. He allegedly has matured. I think everything is kind of there for Tatis to go out and win an MVP this year. But for him to do that, the Padres have to be pretty good. So I'm going to take Tatis Jr. plus 1,100.
Ooh, wow. Okay,
Spicy.
okay. I'm going to go with one of the new faces in the league from South Korea, 25-year-old Jung-Hoo Lee. And what's the bet?
I looked at this for Rookie of the
NL
Year.
Rookie of the Year plus 800.
I considered this.
Honestly, first of all, Rookie of the Year is such a weird thing because you never know how these new guys, the youngsters, are going to translate into the majors.
And not only that, like when they get called up.
Exactly.
Like Jackson Holliday's near the top of the list for the AL, but when does he come up? We don't know.
I was going to say, that's the thing for like a Jackson Churio, Yamamoto, Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
600, right?
He's plus 600. Yeah. Yamamoto is plus 225.
Yeah. That's not
but
fun.
No, but I do feel like I like to take some risks.
I like this one.
You have Jung-Hoo Lee, who's already was Rookie of the Year in 2017 in KBO. He was the MVP in 2022 for the KBO League. And he already has had a good start to spring training.
His
you look
swing
at
looks like
the first 5 games, had a hit in each game. He's actually expected to be at the top of their batting order, possibly lead off for them. They have a lot of expectations for what he's going to bring to the Giants. And I think that's going to catapult him after he had 5 RBIs, 1 home run, and 32 appearances, or at bats, in spring training. I think he's kind of hit the ground pretty well. Jung-Hoo Lee.
Tyler, number 3.
All right, let's jump from plus 100. Now we're going to get into some actual player props for the season, and we'll go all the way to plus 1,500. And all this guy needs to do is bring the ERA down just a step a little bit further. He was a first-time All-Star in 2023. And as much as I love Tarek Skubal to potentially win the AL Cy Young, I am going to go out west, and I'm going to go with George Kirby to win the AL Cy Young at plus 1,500. This guy posted a .9 walks per 9 last year. He walked 19 batters in 190 2/3 innings pitched. He finished 8th in the Cy Young Award. He doesn't strike a ton of guys out. He only had 172 strikeouts in 190 innings. But this guy is somebody that as long as he's not getting hit hard, he's not getting hit.
And he plays in a huge ballpark that helps him.
And so I think that a third, like an actual third full season, he had 25 starts in 22, 31 in 23. I expect this guy to make about 31 to 33 starts this year for a really good Seattle staff where Luis Castillo could be great. He could be great. Logan Gilbert could be great. I'm going to take George Kirby at plus 1,500 to win the AL Cy Young.
I thought you would go. I thought you were going to go Skubal there in Detroit for the AL Cy Young.
You got to go with, can't lead with what your heart wants.
Yeah, he's a big Kirby guy too. Those are his 2 guys, so that makes sense. All right, number 4 for me, I'm going to go with the MLB home run leader.
I saw this in the chat, actually.
Yordan Alvarez, plus 750. This is a tough one because your guy pretty much has to be healthy.
Yeah.
So you're betting on health. I mean, a lot of these are dependent on health, obviously. MVPs, Cy Youngs too.
Yeah.
But Yordan Alvarez, he's, I think, like 5th or 6th on the list in terms of odds. I like those odds. Pete Alonso's up there. Of course, Aaron Judge is up there. Ohtani's up there. But once you get outside like those top 4, Yordan Alvarez to me is a guy that jumped off the page. Plus 750. Let's roll the dice.
Yeah, I know. MBDBDBF was saying that same bet. And MBD's,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Me and you, MBD.
And was also mentioning how he's going to be placing all these bets responsibly. I like that added.
Yes, everybody gamble responsibly.
Please make sure you're gambling responsibly. All right, well, if a team wins the AL and they go all the way to the World Series this year, it might also be a team that produces the AL Cy Young winner. Ooh. And so I stuck things out in Baltimore. I've got 2 possible Orioles bets for you guys. Corbin Burns plus 800 for the AL Cy Young this season. Luis Castillo, who you mentioned, there's some names on here, but the most important name that's not on here, Garrett Cole. And dealing with that injury, I do think he's opening up a spot for somebody else to come in and be top of the AL. And I think Corbin has a chance. Plus, of course, being with a better team. He also has some extra motivation this year. He comes into this season on pace to pass 1,000 career strikeouts. But, these milestones are great. He already has 870 career strikeouts. Love these milestones, but I think he's going to be able to take his game up to another notch, playing with a better team, playing with a true World Series contender. I think we're getting
He's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
He is.
It's a good bet.
Plus 800. Burns, let it burn.
I do like that one. All right, Tyler, number 4.
All right, I just gave you guys the over on Bo Bichette, 179.5, which means if I'm going to take this bet, I think this guy gets even more hits. This guy had a jump in hits almost double. Excuse me, that was almost 30, I should say. I was looking at home runs by mistake. He had a jump in hits of almost 30. I could see another leap of that magnitude. He went from 250 to 270. I could see this guy getting up into the 290 range, and I love this guy for a multitude of awards and picks and overs this year. It's a guy that just signed a massive contract to stay in Kansas City. I'm going to take Bobby Witt to lead the American League in hits at plus 2,000 this year. He went from 150 in 2022 to 177 in 2023. I could definitely see this guy getting up to almost 200 hits. I love him.
Is he going to be leading off for them?
I would expect him to be leading off and getting probably close to 700 plate appearances. He doesn't walk a ton, only 70 walks in 2 years, so he relies upon hits to get on base. He had 41 triples and home runs, add another 28 doubles. That gave him 69 extra base hits last year. I expect this guy to get up to close to 200. I love him and Bichette to lead the league in AL. I would take a flyer on both, but Bobby Witt's number's a little bit better at plus 2,000.
Plus 2,000 has got me very intrigued. I like that one a lot,
You're going to go place that bet?
I think we're a bunch of smart people just talking some baseball bets. Yeah. All right, my final one. This is kind of a random one. I was just scouring win totals.
Okay.
And the Guardians, for some reason, jumped out to me. So I didn't think about it too much. I just embraced the gut. Now, they need to be good in the first half of the season, or at least decent, because Cleveland is a prime candidate to sell off. Mm-hmm. They could trade BB. They could trade Clase. They could trade, they have some young players. But to me, they have a lot of talent. And their over-under total was 78.5. So as long as they don't implode the first 2 months of the season, I think there's a pretty good chance that goes over. So I'm going to take the over on the Guardians this year at 78.5 wins. I think they can easily be a 500 club. Hopefully the division, the Twins don't just run away with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can compete, hang in there, and I think they can be an 82, 83 win team.
All right. Well, I also went with a random one for my last one. I wanted to mix it up. I've done a lot of team wins and things like that. I'm going with a speedy one here. So Ellie De La Cruz, who I believe is going to be the stolen bases leader, plus 800. Last year in 98 games, had 35 stolen bases. Woo. He really literally hit the ground running in his first 25 games with 10 stolen bases. And there was a game in July 8th, I believe it was, where he had 3 stolen bases and 2 pitches. He actually said himself, as in an interview, as he was talking through about his, what he enjoys most, he prefers stealing bases more than even hitting home runs. I know. Take it out how you want it.
But it's
whatever.
probably a rush.
Corbin Carroll,
the whole time.
Definitely exhilarating.
When you hit a home
and
run,
I feel like you're doing something sneaky and it's fun and it's exhilarating.
I kind of get that.
And Corbin Carroll last year had 54 stolen bases in 153 games. I think De La Cruz is going to be able to pass that. He's one of the fastest guys in baseball, like Carroll is. But those are the top 2 right now for stolen bases this season in projections, and I think it's plus 800 for De La Cruz.
That's pretty nice.
Slide into that number 1 spot.
All right, guys, this is my big wild, throw a dart at a board.
Love it.
Don't bet a lot of money on this, but I wanted to take a chance on something and not go with, I wanted to go, out of the box a little bit. This bet here is plus 7,500
spicy, Tyler.
Hits. Because I don't know if this guy can take that next jump. Took a huge jump in power. Went from 8 home runs in his first season to 31 home runs in his second season. And this guy is at plus 7,500 to lead Major League Baseball in home runs this year. Let me get a little dabble, just a little
sprinkle?
Yeah, a little sprinkle of Spencer Torkelson to lead Major League Baseball in home runs at plus 7,500. This is this is not, I think it's going to happen. This was we have 5 and I wanted to mess around with one. Yeah. Put $1 or $2 down and win, big money back for $1. The return is insane. He's listed as 12th or 14th, I think, in order to win, to lead the league in home runs. For example, Aaron Judge is at plus 400, Matt Olson's at plus 650. I'm taking a shot in the dark here and just maybe throwing a dart at the board and taking a flyer.
It is a fun one. Again, you put down $1, you're going to get a big return back. I know Jim, a.k.a. Randall Cunningham in the chat, is saying, that his surprise reach of a pick is the Tigers. I actually was looking at that when the Tigers won in the AL Central. That's a plus on betPARX. That's plus 325.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all. So there's some good bets out there, guys.
And futures are fun. Gamble responsibly, obviously, everyone. But you can get plus 7,500 odds and get a whole season of enjoyment. And if Torkelson, comes out hot, like that's a fun ass bet to have.
I should put some bets.
I like that Corbin Burns bet a lot. So thanks for sharing some of your bets with us in the chat. We appreciate that. Let's get a little thumbs up for some positive vibes for these winners. We will get
15.
What's that?
0-15.
Yeah, right.
We will save the Phillies top managers for tomorrow. At this point, we ran long. So don't want to be here forever. But we appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with us today. Don't forget opening day, whether it is Thursday or Friday. We'll be down at the betPARX in South Philly, right by the stadiums. Miller Lite specials, maybe some giveaways. That's a very nice Miller Lite Phillies sweatshirt.
It has some stuff on the back. I can't turn around.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's a very nice color. I like that.
Yeah.
So if you can, swing by on Thursday or Friday, whatever it ends up being, and say hello to us. We'll do a little go Phils, high five, have a Miller Lite, and you can be on your way. Thank you to everybody for hanging out. For Tyler, Renee, myself, we will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. We will see you all then.
Bye.
Adios.
We all silly like the mayor.